Well, good evening out there, Worlds Collide fans. I'm One Free Fitz. I'm joined by Dwaya here on comms. We're here to call the November Chupon Championship finals. So, this is a monthly tag team event. We're using the Ultros League flags, teams of two. We're not racing at the same time in these, so it's kind of like mostly you just go on your own and encourage your partner. And every month, the champs get to sit and wait through a couple of rounds of async races until we get to the championships. On the bottom, we have Papa Shango and myself, One Free Fitz, Mid Michigan Heat. We are the defending champs, and in the top corner, we have the Gauntlet with Drinks Glue and Narves. Dwaya, how are you doing this evening? Are you excited to see some championship action?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. This will be my first time doing comms for one of the Chupon Championships, so I'm really excited to see how it kind of plays out. Really excited to see how you do, see how Glue does. I've never actually watched Narv's race, so I'm really excited to see that one. And of course, Papa Shango as always.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I have races. I will be avoiding the spoilers. We have a lot of default blue going on. I'd love to see some more colors, but to each their own on the preferences.
Well, we can't all
And
be special.
yes, we do. We know who the starting characters are. Any kind of thoughts on those initial starting characters?
Well, as always with Gao, you're going to be on a dried meat hunt. Hopefully sooner rather than later, so the Velt is kind. Of course, we also have Weapon Shop with Lock, which is a nice, easy check. And Doma Siege is always an option for some grind fights there. So it could go pretty much any way.
Yeah, it's a perfect time to mention that the Chupon Championship is sponsored by Mobley's Meats. If you're looking for dried meat, it's probably there. Sometimes it's not. That's just because they're out of stock.
That's very true, but there's enough Lobos on the Veld that you should be able to get dried meat at any time. Come on, Mobleys.
Yeah, and so we're about to get underway here. Per usual, in the beginning, we'll be seeing that looting, that shopping as we look for enough power to get us through a couple of bosses. We're usually trying to gain some levels, and of course, checking out our starting abilities, which we have Morph, we have Sketch, we have Capture, and Control. So,
Well, it's nice seeing that capture on Gao because that actually gives him a way to attack. So that's something.
yeah, the fight command, very powerful. Gao has kind of naturally high vigor and battle power. So, the problem is usually we can't actually hit stuff with him. So, that's definitely a good call there. Um, and having a lock start, not surprising that we're seeing everyone head to the world of ruin and getting some loot here, checking on the cursed shield and the weapon shop, which I believe was Esper item, and it was like showed
It was.
and something not that great. Drinks is in World of Balance, it looks like.
Someone should remind Drinks that he might be in the wrong world. But we'll let him slide.
I mean, I'm
Uh,
not gonna tell him anything.
yeah, fair enough. I did see that there was 15 battles on that cursed shield, so I'm gonna guess that that probably won't be into play.
Yeah, that's a not gonna happen sort of number. I mean, it could happen, but it would really require prioritizing all of the checks that have like fixed encounters, which It's usually not the fastest. How the Force Shield was the other choice.
Right. So you're definitely going to take that Shoat Esper. We may never see that Force Shield again.
Narv's heading straight to Zozo.
Oh, now that's an interesting play. We're going to see an early dragon?
Potentially. I don't think we've found anything that can take a dragon. They may just bypass it and go for the check, which is
That's
also
true.
a sound move. Drinks Glue getting the out-of-the-way returner's chest. That's one I have been prone to skipping. There was a Ragnarok in that room, in the pot, I think.
Well, that's a nice find.
There's always that temptation when it's like, oh, there was something good in here, to like be like, well, what about that one other chest? It might be good now too.
Well, you know, any check that you don't pick is an Illumina, so.
So yeah, and then on Fitz's screen, there was an Illumina in the barrel outside of World of Ruin, the clock room. The clock itself contained an offering. So
wow, that Fitz guy had a lot of luck there.
We found a lot of early power. I do remember kind of thinking, oh boy, like there's some mean as well. That in a seed where those sort of big weapons are in like the most commonly looted pass, I pretty much knew I was going to need to floor it as soon as possible. So I was really just kind of looking for some sort of magic offense, because those swords aren't going to do us any good at level 3. Magic much more powerful at lower levels, so that's what I was really on the hunt for. I'm hoping this Esper has got those pearl rods.
Well, Narves finds Sabin with jump. So
natural jump.
Yes. So if we find a dragon horn, which I don't know if I've seen. I don't think I've seen one yet. That could be some pretty good offense to start off with too.
Yeah, with the horn, I mean that's really end game stuff. Is assuming we can find, a powerful weapon, preferably a spear or a sword, but honestly anything will do. So that's nice for those. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going to Phoenix Cave. People do not like to go here, so I often do, especially early, because it's a check and loot.
Yeah, I'm people. I don't like to go there. I am one of those, and it has bit me several times.
Drinks Glue showing that barrel outside has a different thing in it between World of Ruin, World of Balance. World of Balance, it was a ribbon, which is nice. That's big money. We can turn that into pretty good items if we find them in a store, but it's no Illumina.
It is no Illumina. You are absolutely right. I did see on his screen, he did find dried meat too. So
dried meat, and it looks like there's ice rods for sale in World of Balance, which I think I kind of skipped going here as like the trade-off of, okay, I'm gonna go to Phoenix Cave, but I have to skip somewhere else I would normally like loot or shop to kind of offset the time of this choice.
That looked like it was a stacked basement in South Figaro too. Snow muffler, Atma weapon. Those are nice finds.
21,000 for the Zen Thief Esper, which was Stray.
I'm actually really curious how this Phoenix Cave is going to play out for you. Now, don't tell me. I don't want any spoilers. I want to be surprised, but I'm really hoping it does.
Yeah, I mean, I would say specifically, I might not be able to tell, like, to say like this is exactly what I got here, but yeah, I will keep the surprises in store. So yeah, drinks also heading to Zen. Gonna get there. Not enough cash. Gonna have to fundraise, but that's affordable.
I bet we're going to see that ribbon go. Oh, there's the Impal Bird. And an elixir. I'm actually wondering, maybe Glue didn't find that ribbon? No, surely he did.
Cat hood. Love those. Probably the best hat if someone can wear it.
Absolutely. Early cathood, great stats, and all the money you could ever want for the rest of the seed.
Phoenix Cave is giving us an egg.
An egg! Wow, nice find early on.
I think I was definitely hoping for some sort of progression or character, but the egg is like the one thing this early that I'm like, that's fine. Egg is
Yeah,
fine.
if it's going to be a dead check, that's a pretty good one.
Oh, I paid the big bucks here. I'm pretty sure because I was like, I'm gonna not take the time to flip worlds if I can afford it. No, that was too expensive. See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't remember. So I play too many seeds to remember any specific one.
That seed bleed is a real thing for sure.
I'm thinking about it, but I don't think I have enough stuff to even really fundraise to that price.
Ooh, Narves is putting that curse shield on. And we're going to try to see what's on the Velt. Papa Shango is also doing the same thing. And it is an Esper. But what Esper is it?
Yeah, we've definitely have done some crisscrossing already. Different order. I'm the only one that has gone to the Phoenix Cave so far. And I didn't go to World of Balance. South Figaro, so I don't have those delicious ice rods. I sold them, bro. Oh, I was fundraising for. Man, I was being aggressive. I like
But
it.
at least you did go for the cheaper of the two prizes.
Yeah, I think everyone is pretty. We're scaled up right now, and no one is taking a grind. So we're all level 3. Enemies are going to be level 12.
So at any point were you ever worried about that?
Oh, super worried. I was definitely. It really depends on hoping there's like a fight that's decent. Something undead, something that's not that dangerous.
Well, it looks like on Papa Shango's side, he's doing Trench, and these aren't bad fights.
No, it's decent experience and not incredibly dangerous.
Exactly, especially with that ice rod. He can just crack that and take at least half of it down right there. And was that a magic power +2 Esper I saw from the Velt?
Yes. Which like is kind of like, yeah, I was like, it's like that's cool, but like I don't know how much magicking is gonna happen.
Well, with the offense that you had found, I'm sure that you were probably hoping for a strength too.
Yeah, strength or speed, certainly. Because Gao can use the Ragnarok. And so for the runners that have both, oh, Sabin can use the Illumina. See, I had Lockrock and the Illumina, Gao with the Ragnarok, and then I was like, well, enough magic power +2. Even Cyan can be a potent caster, so that was kind of the logic on that one. Seeing a good knowledge of like control and sketches to work through these fights.
So, other than the capture on Gout, what was your thoughts on your starting abilities?
Usually, you know, hoping for something that's magic power based to again have some reliable power at early levels. Not having this, like I knew, and especially not having the rods to break that. Potentially the trench could be like a wall if there was something nasty there.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I think I was like, I did come here. Maybe I did find these ice rods. I think that's actually why I came here, because this whole time I was like, I'm gonna hop in the trench. That's kind of where I want to go, but not having anything to deal with level 12 enemies fast made me look a little bit more for an answer. I might have been looking for warp stones too.
Do you think you, at this time, if you were looking for warp stones, do you think you were thinking about doing Mount Zozo as well and having the warp out?
I think I'm always like trying to get a couple of those, either to get out of a fight in the trench that's bad. I did find the ice rod, nice. Or yeah, I think that's like the main thing. And also if I have, you know, characters that have checks that are faster with warp stones, they're always just kind of handy to have, like 5 or so, but I try not to go out of the way too much to acquire them and just try to keep checking along the way. Of course, there's another egg at the end of the trench. We have 2 big swords and 2 known eggs, although one of them at Phoenix Cave is probably not going to be found incredibly early here.
Yeah, but with you having done Phoenix Cave, I'm sure you're probably going to hit Trench and get a second egg. That's got to be, looking back on it, that's nice.
Oh yeah, because what I opted to do was like do the Velt fast and then try to find my, like a grind outside of the trench, so I was hedging here a little bit, and so I didn't have to rely on finding something easy in the trench. I think these give a lot of experience as well, so I was like, yes, let's do it.
Now, what I'm really curious about is so far we've just had kind of free checks. I'm really curious what the first boss is going to be that we see.
We're going to find out pretty quickly. Papa Shango heading into the tunnel armor spot, one of Locke's checks.
Always a nice check with that free heal that you can get.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm so
Tunneling out of the
excited, I
wall.
can't wait. Oh, and an Atma weapon.
We've got Ice 3.
Oh yeah, this will be no problem.
Yeah, and I imagine, because making Gao into a caster was like an equally viable option, like a tier 3 spell. We're throwing some offering doom darts out there. Yeah, I definitely decided to double up on this fight because the offense was all swords, and I want to say at this point these were giving like 5,000 experience, so I was like, I'll take 2 of these, and then that it would pay off in like my checks. Yeah, that's so much stuff. And I
Oh,
want to get Ice
absolutely.
3 learned too. So it's like I accomplished a lot here. It's something I've been doing a little bit more in my seeds, where if I find one of those really high value grind fights, I've been taking an extra one and overall finding it to be as time save, especially in the first kind of like 20 minutes.
Ooh, and we have a Rex Soul at Doma Siege.
Not ideal, but the Ice Rod is gonna help put a huge dent in it.
Yeah, Rexel having a naturally high magic defense, those ice rods can just cut through that. And then having the physical offense like that, that was a really quick fight.
Yeah, it's definitely great game knowledge and decision making there. I feel okay, yeah. A lot of Atma weapon fighting. Level 4 flare could be dangerous. This is where Atma weapon does some weird stuff, yeah.
Oh, Narves, oh no. You hate to see that.
And it looks like the reward here was an Esper. And the Esper teaches so quick in Bolt 3.
The Drink's Glue is actually up to 4 Espers, it looks like.
I was heading back in, getting off a level 4. Oh no. Okay. I remember being worried about that. Stone has ruined my day a couple of times in the past couple of weeks as an attack.
Right.
Like either by level matching an enemy and it does a ton of damage, or just full party muddle is usually a bad time.
I mean, in our Discord, in the bragging rights and clips, I think we've got a whole list of muddle clips where it's gone wrong.
Everyone has their own personal sort of battle scars and dealing with the muddle status and or zombie.
Ugh. Yeah, I got that tonight. But it just makes you stronger. Or that's what we're going to tell ourselves.
So we're almost at the 20-minute mark. We're going to have a couple runners on the left side that are both at 3 characters, 5 Espers. So I would say our pace is right now fast.
Oh yes, no, the
Across the
pace
board.
is incredible.
So I see in chat, is Chupon Championship still Ultras League? Correct. Just run in pairs. Lowest
Now-
combined time wins.
That's what I was going to ask, because I've never participated in a Chupon Championship. I want to in the future, but I was going to ask you how it worked out, if the times were combined or if each time was looked at individually.
So the question is, Drinks grew way under leveled. It's possible he had made different Esper choices in terms of where he put his magic power +2 Esper. And I didn't see if he broke a rod on that fight too, but both of those would make the Atma fight go a lot more quickly. Papa Shango headed into Dream. Drinks Glue heading to Zozo. They'll pick up their Sabin.
Which, having all those checks open will be nice. Now, me personally, I love Doma Dream. That's one of my favorite checks. What's your opinion on that?
Yes, I do generally like it. There's some guaranteed progression in there. There's only 2 bosses to fight. I have had the rare, unfortunate occasion of not being able to beat the boss in the back of Dream, and that feels bad, but it's pretty rare. So generally I was, it's a little bit of an investment for to do all 3 checks, and we can't just like leave. But yeah, I would say it's one of the better ones, and just in terms of potential progression per minute, I guess.
Absolutely. Now, you are actually tearing through these fights in the trench thanks to having taken some extra levels, getting that ice 3 early, not having to rely on those ice rods. So I can imagine this is going to go super quick for you. And we
Yeah,
have
and
the
I'm
crank.
definitely at the point where I wonder if I take all of these too, because I don't really need the levels. And so I know there was at least one formation that was like sand rays and the scorpions that are in Figaro Desert, World of Balance. I bet I run from those, but yeah, it will definitely be a little bit faster, and I'm gonna get an egg, number 2.
I can imagine you're both happy and sad about that.
Yeah, the second one doesn't feel as good.
No.
Because it's like, oh, everyone else already probably had this when I got mine in Phoenix Cave.
Oh, that is a fire 3 on the Esper that Narv's got from Mount Colts.
Yeah, I think we've seen all 3 tier element spells. So we definitely have the stuff to make a mage.
On the, yep, there you go, escaping out of that fight because, it's really not going to give you too much. On the flip side of you being higher level for the trench, Glue was higher level for the Mount Zozo, so he actually took that dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a check. It is a nice stack of experience, which, will at least be one person of our in-game offense is going to be using physical attacks, and levels are best for hitting stuff.
Absolutely.
For big numbers.
So now I can imagine that at this point, with it being 3-5 for you and Papa Shango, I bet you guys are really hoping to find that 4th character.
Yeah, like eventually, I think when the Esper count is like 6 or 7, it's like, ooh, I don't want to overfind Espers and still be looking for characters, because it's a good chance that, we'll find a character or 2 along the way anyway. But yeah, that's where Papa Shango finds himself right now. It's just like, where is this character? Is it in Phoenix Cave? Or, Zozo? Probably going to do Zozo before Phoenix Cave. Although, I think that's what most people would do. So sometimes we got to swerve. I tried that. I tried that at the beginning. And it's not a character in Esper either, so... But Papa doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't.
That's where I'll make up sometime, as if it's kind of like people go to Phoenix Cave. When they get the egg there late, it's going to be way worse than me finding it early.
So at any point in your mind, are you thinking, oh man, am I going to have to do a 2-character Kefka at Narsh?
Not yet. I think after I also get to the end of Dream, and I'm like, I still don't have a character, that we're getting close, but I would do everything else before attempting it. I think it would be doable just because I've got Lock and Gao with big swords and eggs, so barring Magimaster pretty much, they can deal with anything. Everyone's boss fights are just like fly. We got power early, and everyone has pretty much done a great job of recognizing it and then just like stepping on it while still building like pretty optimal.
Oh, but I bet Glue was clinching a little bit with that Inferno fight.
Yeah, they can always do the wrong stuff in the wrong order any enemy that can do launcher and then has other parts that can do an AoE attack, a behemoth soon.
So now, you and Papa Shango are at 3 characters and lots of espers. And then we've got Drinkschool and Narves that has 5 characters apiece. Narves has Shadow and Drinkschool has Setzer. This is actually making the race really interesting because you have opposite sides of progression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of the inverse, especially after like hitting Search the Skies and not coming up with an Esper. It's where it starts to be like, well, like Saban's got a lot of checks. We can peek a couple ahead of time to see if they're like not a character in the pace of Imperial Camp or for Phantom Train. You know, we can actually see what's up with that. But Saban's also one of our older characters. So, like, that can also feel bad as, like, well, I'm trying to look for espers, but a place I would come is, like, Narsh, where if I was like, I need to think about where I want to go next more, there's an esper here, so run up and grab it, maybe. It could be an item, but I like that play by Drinks Glue.
Oh, and take a dragon on the way up? Hey, why not?
Like, anytime I am in the world of Ruin, I kind of unsure what check I should do next, and I don't have 9 espers. Like, I think this is a nice, you get a little bit of a walk, think about what the next move is going to be, you know, and take care of something along the way and get a nice amount of experience. Karate Dad, gone.
Absolutely did not stand a chance.
I think Gold Dragon is going to be... Yeah, we're seeing a lot of 2 hits.
Yes. Now, let me see here. Drinks Glue has 8 pieces of progression. So does Narves. So does Papa Shango. You have 6 pieces of progression. And we are before the 30-minute mark. That is a great time, and it just shows kind of the caliber of the types of runners, you included, Fitz, that are racing this, and it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely pace is partially influenced by, you know, what tools does the seed provide. And this one provided. And I think experience helps recognize, like, faster, like, oh snap, like, I have, like, in-game offense already figured out. So how am I really gonna just, like, go and really minimize messing around in menus? Or, you know, I could argue I probably am fiddling with espers too much, given kind of what I already have. So it's like having a lot of power forces us to really think about those like micro decisions, including like routing of like where I'm going to go next.
Absolutely. And hey, you've got 8 espers to fiddle with, so you got a lot to go through.
It's lots of fiddle. But I don't really need it though, right? It's like, well, 2 people are using swords, and then I think at this point Cyan knows all the magic, and I think they're the one getting magic boosted. So it's just a continuing work in progress of fighting the menu monster. But yeah, I remember starting to feel a little bit amped at this point. I wonder if the other runners were too, where it's just like, yeah, I had the same thought of like, that's a lot of progression for only being half an hour in, like, and we're just like destroying everything in front of us.
You really are. Now, I haven't been able to look at all the espers because so much is going on. But I have noticed that I don't think anybody's found Siren, and I haven't necessarily seen Mute. I know you have Life 3, so you have Calmness Protection, but is any of that going through your head of, hey, I've got 8 espers, am I going to be Kefka ready?
Yeah, that's definitely I think definitely going on and for everyone at this point is really like, what's my final plan? I don't have enough characters to start thinking about my lane assignments. um, other than like, I'm probably actually trying. That's probably why I'm doing so much fiddling. Is like, well, if I can get Cyan to a place where I think they can solo a lane, and it doesn't really. Then I don't have to do anything with character 4. It's like you can hang out, wear Moogle Charm, throw items around. Like maybe I'll teach you Life 3, but he's a jumper, which is also like doesn't require a lot of fiddling. It's like find a horn, give him a weapon.
Pretty much. And I guess the nice thing for you and Papa Shango finding those characters later is they come in at a higher level, so they're even more ready for lanes. Takes a little bit of stress off of you, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the eggs will do that too. Is that like with 1 or 2 eggs, because characters come in at party average, they'll actually be coming in like above the non-experience egg character levels. Now, since I only have 3, we don't see that effect as much. And then obviously once we get beyond 4 characters, they'll start to fall off. But that's a nice thing about finding early eggs too. It's just, it just kind of raises everyone's levels beyond that point.
That's true. Now, I'm guessing that you did not find warp stones, and this is a walk of shame.
Yeah. Not only did I not find them, that's probably why I think I'm vaguely remembering that I was just checking to see if anything had warp as a spell.
Okay,
That's like
fair
my
enough.
main reason I think I'm checking espers at this point. I did say 15 was too many.
Yeah, I think Glue's calling you out, Fitz.
I'm on the record. But didn't I say if we go and do a lot of encounter checks, then, we would uncurse it, and the trench is an encounter check. And Drinks has taken like 3 dragons at this point too, so that's already 8 battles, but...
That's true. Way to give that 110% Glue.
We also have to, be a little bit fortunate that we always find bosses that give us magic points, which we have. Okay, so I got Saban. I remember being like, well, I'm in World of Ruin, so we're going to go do Collapsing House Priority 1 before I flip worlds and try to guess what of the other 4 checks might have a character.
And Narves is doing a floating continent. I'm not sure we've seen that yet.
Big Brother Atma.
Ooh, you don't want to see that proc, though. That's a nice heal.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have a couple of those in-game bosses that it's really Atma and Goddess.
Very true.
We don't want to see it.
But you've got Gal slinging tier 3 magic. You've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen like Berserk. There's really not much that can stop us, except for, this is again can be riots. Kind of nerve-wracking. Is kind of like the only thing that can slow me down is me doing unnecessary things at this point.
That and a very unfortunate Doom Gaze when you're level 5.
I mean, there's always random stuff that you can't even. There's, Doom could like full party freeze me, or like tier 2 could go wonky, but like things that I could predict, like they're all covered at this point.
Absolutely. I think as the saying goes, rando is gonna rando.
Coliseum. I love it. A quick peek. I wonder what we're looking for. Oh,
Well, I saw your warp stones.
Gao can wear the Dragoon boots, but if he doesn't have... It won't work, because he doesn't have... Unless he has the fight command. I saw that in chat.
Yes. But that is a very good question, Concussed Gamer.
All right, so we got the life 3. In my head, I'm kind of like, my party is gonna be instant death by the time we get to Kefka. So if I don't have it, I'm not super worried about that. Mute is the bigger thing that I feel like is a pretty big time save. Not having to deal with magic's counters.
Did
Well,
you
look at
just say that your
this.
party was going to be instant death?
Yeah.
Can I steal that? I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, we're not at the level of like, we're not doing quad 9s. We don't have, the offering sort of thing going on, but it's as close as we can get to like max power without shenanigans.
It looks like you and Papa Shango did a little high five there, going through Daryl's tomb.
I will say in our lead up to our championship, our times were usually pretty close together. And I was Papa Shango's mentor when they were a Moogle, which seems like forever ago, which wasn't that long ago. But so, there's some thinking alike going on here for sure. And it's a realm here too.
Ooh. You love to see a realm.
So that, seeing that was definitely like a big oh shoot moment, because like this is for me been on a PB pace, and finding that unlock here is like, this can for sure happen. Like we're right in the zone here. I'm definitely thinking like, do I have enough levels? Am I gonna go take an Opera House Dragon before I go in the town? Or I don't think we're anywhere close to the check count for Skip to be on the table, but I don't remember for sure. Okay. Yes, our tracking team has just told us that Drinks Glue is in close. We'll be close to it after finishing up here. To skip territory, the other 3 pretty far off. Like we would have to go significantly out of our way and do like multiple checks to get that skip.
All right. So
I
what
got
were
to
your
grab
thoughts
the
whenever you
master,
saw Magitech Realm?
which is like, oh man, that's one of those where it's like, well, if I could have found her early with this magic power, +2, like, don't even have to teach realm spells. We just go. Yeah, I think we're seeing some final shopping on Papa Shango's side, and I was just a little bit greedy. I think I wanted to teach Realm a spell before we went in, so I was like, let's go fight a dragon, and we'll teach her something. Ice 3, sure.
So I saw that you had Finrare, but still haven't found Mute. So you've got half of the pieces of the puzzle there for a safer final Kefka climb.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask you again, like, because now you've got your unlock. Is that in your mind at all, or are you just ready to send it and go after this dragon fight?
I'm ready to send it. I'm trying to remember if we had a natural magic character. But I might be seed bleeding because I've had like a Cyan that had natural magic. I think it might have been this one, but anyway. Me, I'm not worried about. Love the Fenrir. Got life 3 as like a backup. And the instant death I think I had like Odin, so it's like good enough. I think I would say I don't have a good option to find Mune other than doing more checks. And if I was like closer to the skip, maybe, but again with his power and partly knowing who I'm going up against is like Narv's very talented, Drinks is one of like the best, so there's a little bit of like I kind of have to be a little bit riskier.
Absolutely. I know that would be going through my mind is kind of the meta of who I'm racing against, their experience, their caliber, and what I think they're going to be doing. I can tell you that would be definitely going through my mind a lot.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we get an actual count for Glue's espers?
Yeah, Drinks Blue looking for that skip Esper, finding a Mog. Mog leading to more checks.
I mean,
and it will be number 20 for Drinks Glue. Almost in tandem. The Mid-Michigan Heat dropping in to the tower.
Again, it's like you guys are twinsies. I'm even thinking you put your parties together the same.
Well, it's a good thing I have the purple, so we can tell who's who. Otherwise, we'd have no idea.
So I'm actually really curious. What Glue's gonna do with that Mog? If he's at 20 checks, is he gonna go to Narsh and try to take Mog's two easy checks for the skip? I mean, at 43 minutes, that would be a pretty good time save, possibly?
It's definitely tough. I would say it's always like a tough call sometimes because, especially if we have already invested time in pursuing it, because Drakes could just go in the tower right now. But they're one Esper away from skipping a 5-minute walk in the tower, and they've already spent some time like pursuing it. So it's a little bit of like, am I gonna try one more time, either by running up to the top of Narsh for the Mog check. If that's a character, we could do Kefka and Narsh real quick, and we would be able to peek it. But if we're only 2 checks away, we can go get those in the middle path of the tower.
Which it looks like that's what Glue's gonna do. Alright, so we are getting our climb from the Mid-Michigan Heat.
But it looks like Drinks is on track to skip, and Narves is also close on the Esper side, because I'll be getting... Although Search the Skies is empty. But I think Collingen Inn was an Esper. And I don't know if they've gone and did the Tritox. Like, Narves has a path to get skip here fairly quick, too. It's going to be interesting. Oh, no, number 24. Having my powerful hit team here, I got very nervous. Because, like, here we go. Sometimes to go fast, we have to get a little bit lucky. Which is like, please don't muddle one of my beefy boys here. We got Guardian at the Toilet Atma spot. Even with all the extra checks, like, everyone is just still blasting through, even the tankiest bosses.
Your guys' power was incredible. Those early big sticks, those early eggs. Great
This
Espers.
dragon, I feel like I maybe didn't need it. But it's hard to not be greedy for levels, and I was really counting on these two in particular being my like my hard carries.
Glue is taking his dragon in the tower. White dragon is not going to last very long, that's for sure.
No, they're gone.
Yep.
And that'll be skip for them.
Now, I'm curious what Narves is hunting for here.
Well, we have seen an offering. Where did that one? The offering I found was in the clock.
Right.
We might have been looking for a Gigantos for just a sack of experience.
Possibly.
Or, I mean, PM Stalkers are pretty good for... like learning spells. Did we find a... Shadow of Blitz? Shadow's Blitz.
Shadow has Blitz, and we're going to get a bum rush play here. As Glue is dropping in with his skip.
Yeah, because he's definitely jumped ahead of Papa Shango and I with the skip. And like the levels.
Well, I'm very eager to see what our statues hold for us. We haven't seen any of the really terrible bosses yet.
That's not one I love to see here. Ah, yes, Cyan having a anime transformation into a magical being.
We always knew Cyan was a magical girl at heart.
Going through his Sailor Moon phase.
As you do. Alright, and you have taken down the Guardian spot. About to see your statue, your middle lane statue. Are you going to get your free chest, your validation chest? Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm. Gotta, otherwise it doesn't count.
I mean, as long as you get that chest, you've won the seed, right? Right?
Yeah, that's what makes the time official. It's not when you hit. It is when you hit done, but it's when it's hitting done is unlocked by opening that chest.
I bet on Glue's side, he also considers petting the dog as the unlock.
Potentially, although we didn't see any dog pets.
No, no opportunity. Well,
yeah, I'm hearing from production that allegedly there was dog petting, but I didn't see it. So, probably didn't happen.
the god mics can only take us so far.
And no Umaro. This is disappointing.
Yes, we have missed our Yeti friend.
Yeah, the tentacles showing why, though not like dangerous of wiping Papa Shango, they are dangerous and taking up a bunch of our time.
I mean, at later levels, at earlier levels, they're very dangerous, but at later levels, they are just flat out annoying.
Yeah, they're an absolute. They can be a total wall at 10 and under. And the chainsaw, having to rely on the chainsaw for some damage was definitely a little tough. It's like, come on.
see your Cyan too hit his magical girl phase.
Mm-hmm. Desperate times, so we need it.
Nobody's judging. You do what you gotta do. I do think. Oh, go
There's
ahead.
a big hit from Setzer with the rune edge. Oh, because this happened, and I was like, oh, come on.
He's trying his best. But I was gonna say, I think Kefka really needs to reconsider Ultros being at the top of his tower.
Yeah, not the best guard. I would say just from observing, if there's one thing that I maybe am regretting is not transitioning over to an ammo weapon offering. I think that was one of those where I was just kind of being like, nope, that's a menu. And I didn't necessarily fully think it through because it is just a faster offense at the sort of power levels that we've gotten to with those eggs. But like, that's something in the moment can be hard to know, and only by watching it like this is a little bit easier to see.
So while we're in our tower climb and everybody's kind of doing the same thing, I definitely want to give a shout out to our runners. Definitely give them a follow, show them your support, because including Fitz, including Blue, who are on the Restream team, they are providing a great show. And then on the other side, your Restream team, Glue and Joker Mage, myself and Fitz, we are happy to be here for you all.
Yeah, this is going to come down to Papa Shango first to step on a switch.
At 5408, I think.
So, yeah, definitely still we're on a wild pace here. I would say at this point for me, the heart rate is definitely elevated. Because it's, that PB is so in sight, where it's just like, this is going to be a big one.
And
if
at
we
the
can
same
execute here.
Yes, and at the same time, Glue on his switches at 54 and change as well.
Yeah, I think Drinks has got a little bit faster offense. But Final Kefka can be random sometimes.
The Great Equalizer, and you were on your switches at around 55, it looks like?
Narves is really only, especially with how fast these bosses are going, like, 4 minutes behind, so it is a team event, which can be helpful when, I think in some of these, this was not the case, but in other rounds where it's been less generous of seeds, like knowing that I'm on a team and it's like, I may not have had the cleanest run, but I still, have something to shoot for. Regardless, so yeah, here we go. Drinks are just absolutely blasting through here, using Lock as much as possible without overusing him and risking taking out all the parts at the same time.
And this is where experience really shines through, is knowing when to attack, when not to attack, and how to do it all and keep all your party members.
Because it's the stuff we can control. You can't control if you're going to get, our polarity, and basically have to waste a turn resetting the rows, or love the use of Vanish to protect our front row person from the counterattack. Both on Drinks Glue, Papa Shango also rocking that as well.
Yes.
I think after enough times of having our powerhouse get like counter crit punch down, we find ways to mitigate that or remember to use them more often, I guess.
Oh, yes. I still am feeling that from my run earlier, actually. So Glue breaking a shield just to get that big damage out on his tier 2.
Interesting.
And you are starting your tier 1, or have started it for a while.
I think that was, yeah, we're moving up now.
Yeah. And by a while, I mean like seconds.
Yeah, I mean, when we get enough magic power, having that like high magic power AoE can really put a nice dent in tier 2, and because magic has a lot more hit points than everyone else, it's actually fairly safe to do those sort of big AoE attacks and not kill all the parts at once. And especially because, you know, instant Doom can be notoriously fickle in terms of whether it wants to work or not.
Yes. Now I know, did you have your Odin on for your instant death?
Oh, I think Realm has it. I think I use it on tier 1.
Ah, okay.
So much tier 2 action going on right now. I
I
think we're
know.
down to just magic for drinks, and they're done. No, we didn't. We didn't have Mew, so I can't actually tell.
Yeah. So
Okay,
not
they're
quite
still
over
up,
for Glue. Yeah.
but they're in the back half. We're in counter phase. Papa Shango still has hit and magic, I think, and I'm still working on hit and magic.
Looks like Glue did get his magic down, and he phantomed for hit. Big brain play there.
Yeah, it definitely saves a bit of time not having to watch the hit animation and the damage pop up. If we have it, we might as well use it on one of the 2 first tiers. If we have a backup, which we do, because I think everyone got that Fenrir.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody got their sets, or more than likely everybody went to Collington for that free check. All right, Glue in his tier 3. And probably going to make very short work of it. And
Especially
Papa Shango moving up.
with having access to quick as well.
Absolutely. Quick with those big swords. That is a nice combination. All right, Narves is on his switches, about to start his final Kefka.
King of Dragons coming out to do some damage.
Always love to see it.
That is girl down for both Drinks and Papa Shango. I am finishing my tier 2 and heading up.
This will probably be the end of tier 3 for Glue. Yep, there it is. You're starting your tier 3.
Weird wind. Hate to see it.
Yeah. It can't kill you, but ooh, it can put you into scary levels. That was a simultaneous quick casting. That was incredible. No wonder you two make such a great team.
Yeah, if you got there were bonus points for synchronization, then we would be getting them.
10 out of 10. That's what I give you.
We'll have to add in the judged component. Be like your average time, then you get bonus points for winning the judges' scores.
I think we should petition. Next big meeting, we'll put in judges' scores.
I think that's
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Yep, there we go.
But it's not over yet because it is a team.
And GG's for Glue at 103.46. And yes, you're right, it is a team effort.
So for me, my personal best before this race was like a 113 and some change.
So in the back of your mind, are you thinking, oh my gosh, this is so much better than that one? Or are you completely zen about it?
I think around like 30 or 40 minutes, that's where I was really like, oh my goodness, we are going so fast. I think there was a little bit of slow down here with like the tentacles fight. Tier 2 taking a bit where it was like, all right, let's, because there was a second that I was like, I might be close to like a 60-minute run here, and then I lost a little bit of that, but it was still pretty clear coming up off of tier 3 that was like, okay, I might break the 70-minute barrier if I execute well. So I like took a deep breath, tried to focus, just be like, I gotta execute here. I'm not in that much danger. Ooh.
No, Papa
Scary
Shango.
goner.
Oh.
Life 3.
Oh, my heart was pounding there.
It's still, I mean, Locke's got image, so that's good.
Papa Shango, congrats. You've got me on the edge of my seat watching this.
I got in a little bit of trouble on this tier 2.
Oh boy, yes you did.
Like all in one happens. And then also
Oh
like
my God.
everyone's got a bunch of status junk going on.
I don't know which one of you to watch more. All right, Papa Shango with his crack pow at 106.42. GG's.
Very nice. All right, now we're getting into Goner. Like, one of my problems is Gao is blind, and I kind of built them to just be a sword guy. And they're not really doing that right now. Cyan's also out of magic, and I don't think I have any shields to crack, so I'm kind of like trying to figure out what I'm going to do, which is not get through Goner without healing. That's a good point by Drinks Clue. So we can think of it as right now, the Gauntlet is ahead by just under 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah. All right, here comes a goner for you, which Gao and Locke will survive for sure.
Yeah, I really want to finish this fight.
I can imagine.
Because I was like, oh no, the 70-minute barrier. We're so close, and I need it.
You've got to be so close, though.
But the problem is I'm too close. Like, I feel pretty confident that if I attack, I will trigger an Ultima. I will not finish it, and so I have to like be patient and be like, fine, start your stuff again, and then I get trained again. And I was like,
oh no.
Well. It might be 1 in 3 for the average person, but when you roll so many Ultros Underground seeds and you see how they turn out, one starts to question if they might have below average luck when it comes to randomness.
And when has Worlds Collide ever cared about the math?
That full moon action. We're really scraping the barrel here. But it's going to be okay.
I believe in you. Oh gosh. You know your gal's going to survive, but are you like really nervous at this point?
No, this has been going bad. Like overall, it's like, oh no, this is where they're going to fall off, like. But then a clutch blind hit.
Way to go, Gal. And you got your crack pout 109.50. GG's.
Now, Narves is already, like, here. Ultimating.
Oh, yeah. It was a very close race between you two, especially because, you know, Narves actually went and got the bum rush cutscene and everything.
Yeah, which I think really helped them out get through the tentacles fight a lot faster.
Probably.
But yeah, definitely. I believe this was a personal best for my. I know it was one for myself, and it was also one for Papa Shango. I have a lot of experience getting personal bests and still losing to Drake's Glue from Ultros League last season in Elixir.
Well, congratulations on to you both for getting personal bests. And don't worry about Glue. You're a winner to yourself.
But yeah, it's really. Narv's got like a couple minutes.
Oh, gosh.
Took an Ultima.
This should do it, though.
That was so close. That's it.
Oh. Whew. You all had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
GG's Narves.
Got pretty dicey towards the end, but I mean, that bum rush was I think a lot of times that's something that I shy away from because it's just a pretty long cutscene, but I think it is a reliable source of great offense for a character that we haven't put a lot of investment in, and I think we also saw the power of that Atma offering versus the big swords.
Absolutely. That race was incredible. So is
And
that
of course,
a
I wish Phoenix Cave would have had a progression, but yeah, I like it. It was a great race and super close in the end. I think, um, I think it's just over a minute difference between the two, but this will not be the end of Mid Michigan Heat. We're coming back
I was gonna say, does
for our
this
titles.
mean that the Gauntlet is now the champions?
Yeah, let me see if I can. And new Chupon Tag Team Championships of the World. The team of Trace Glue and Narv, the Gauntlet.
Thank you,
I didn't
Mike.
want to blow it out by yelling.
Thank
We
you.
super
somehow
loud, but
missed the opportunity of saying that Narves came in with the metal chair.
Yeah, Narbs and I, we gave the reps a pretty good bribe. But don't worry about that. That's, nobody's business but ours.
yeah, you'll miss us. Papa Shango and I were babyface champions. We would autograph for the kids long after the matches, and now,
Mhm.
you get
Well,
the champions y'all deserve.
Wait, does that make Drake Blue and Narves the heels?
Of course.
It depends on who you're asking. Because if you're asking me,
It's more Drake's
me
Glue.
and
I
Narbs
think
are the
Narves-
heroes of the story. But speaking of the story, Fitz, you'll be interested. Papa Shango, if you're still here, you'll be interested in this as well. For those of y'all that are not familiar with Narbs, Narbs is one of the most solid Worlds Collide player, probably you don't know about. But it turns out he's a little bit of a wild card because I asked him the other day. I was like, "Hey, congratulations, GG, we did it. How do you want to handle our situation here?" And he said, in one word, more. And I was like, "What do you mean, my friend?" And he said, "I want more." And I asked him to spell it out for me, and he said, "You know what, Glue? I want any and everyone at our doorstep each and every month." So Nars personally requested that next month, if you sign up for the Chupon Championship, you will get a title match no matter what. All you have to do is finish your seeds through the qualifying rounds, and Narbs and myself, we are letting any and everybody through. So if you want a championship match next month, you got it.
An open challenge is what we call that.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, so that's
Yeah.
for anybody, huh?
Yeah, we don't care if it's, Fitz and Papa Shango again. We don't care if it's Pero. You don't care if your name is Double Down, Falcon Hit, Dwaya, Pero Querenese. It doesn't matter. If your grandma would like to sign up, they can all come on through and compete for the Chupon Championship next month.
Well, there you have it, folks. From the man himself, the gauntlet has been laid down.
That's right. And if you want to be the person, you got to beat the person. And that person is two people, Nars and Drinks Glue.
Which still might be like 3 dogs in a trench coat. We're not sure. Well, so Fitz, how are you feeling about that? Like the overall seed, what's your opinions? Glue, you two.
I think it was a great run. I think watching everyone run in, like I think I said this even afterwards. I was like, I felt like I got a PB, and I felt like I know that there's improvements, and there's some time that I left out there on the battlefield at the same time. So I came away feeling pretty good, where it was like, I don't think it was my best performance ever, but it certainly was one of my best. And same for Papa Shango, and so despite losing the titles, I came away feeling pretty good about the seed overall.
Yeah, I don't feel too bad because remember we threw it in the seed sharing after, and Golden Shocker was immediately like, I had a 1-on-1. I was like, well, crap. So it happens. There's always someone lurking out there. There's somebody out that will top Golden Shockers 1-on-1 one day if they try it hard enough. But I think that was a good exercise too, in that that individual see with all those amazing times for everybody is that you would not have thought that if you saw the starting party and the starting party alone. And maybe it's a don't judge a book by its cover type thing, but it escalated very, very quickly there.
Absolutely, that's a really good point. Whenever you said, with that starting party, that's definitely not what you're thinking, or whenever you see that, you're definitely not thinking, oh my gosh, this is a jet seed or anything like that. So yeah, it was incredible how it ended up. So for you guys that do this pretty regularly, if somebody did want to join the Chupon Championship next month, yeah, how would they go about doing that?
Sunday, December 1st, sometime that day, the room will open, and anyone is free to welcome to join. Even if you don't have a tag team partner, we have a system in place to kind of pair people who join alone. And then we always have somebody floating around, or we can always, we can ask around if we end up with odd numbers. So don't let having a partner hold you back. And then B, little unknown fact is that the Chupon Championship was kind of like the original Moogup idea, and that we were just trying to pair people together and give people, an opportunity to play with somebody and ask questions and whatnot. So while the seed is designed to be run blind, you don't run it with spoilers or assistance. Having that partner for a month, if you are a newer player with a more seasoned player, can be very helpful, especially during the Ultras League season, because the Chupon Championship is just Ultras League but tag team, right?
Exactly. Well, good to know.
All right, and then if you folks have Dwaya, Fitz, if y'all don't have anything else to plug, or throw out there, I will sign us off.
Nothing more here. I just appreciate the runners that put on this great show.
Yeah, had a blast calling in, and thanks for doing the restream.
Most definitely. And thanks, Fitz, for doing comms with me.
It was a great time.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Y'all did a fantastic job. But that's the standard when you have one free Fitz and Dwaya on commentary. Special thank you to Joker as well for tracking for us tonight. For anybody that had tuned in and or watched these shenanigans, hope y'all had fun, and we wish everybody a wonderful evening.
Absolutely. You guys have a great night.